What is up, everybody? What is up? I know everyone's tuning in. Everybody's waiting. I was actually running a few minutes late here. I'm actually going to share this. It's shared in a couple groups here. There we go. All right. Super pumped up. What is up? What is up? Okay, so we are going to get this going. Just so you all know, I see Chris is on. What's up, my man Chris? I'm going to pull you out here in a minute. Just so everyone knows, this is a special night for me, right? I'm going to give you a wave there, Chris, just so you know I know you're there. Mick, Casey, Tanya. We're going to have tons of people on here tonight. I know it. What is up, Levi, Robert? I just know we're going to have tons of people on here because I have a special guest that I'm interviewing tonight. Chris has been a super rock star. With my wife's been following him. I've been following him. And it's just super amazing. Somebody with such love and gratitude that's able to reach so many people. And can everyone hear me okay? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I'm sitting here. I got to have my phone we got to do this on my phone, right? So I'm doing this all from my phone. So I'm going to be pulling Chris out, but I just wanted to let everyone know, right, that, the reason why I do this and the reason why I'm doing this my first actually reached out. I have a mentor of my own, right, who helps me in everyday business, personal development, mindset, everything like that. And if you're on here so far, I want you to share this to your page because we all know Chris's story is amazing. So get it out there so everyone can see. Chris, while you're watching, you want to share this on your page, go ahead and do that. But one of my mentors of mine says to reach out, right? Reach out and find someone and reach out to people outside your comfort zone to be able to grow your business or be able to touch somebody's life, right? Because every single day we're going to be able to touch somebody's life. Stop caring what other people think and say about you, because only you can change yourself, right? You only can change your life. So be you, do you, is what I always say. So I've reached outside of my comfort zone a few nights ago, and I reached out to Chris, and I said, "Hey, man, do you mind if I interview you?" And he's like, I forget how he said it. I think he said like, "What for?" Or what's it about? You know what I mean, or something of that sort. And I was just stepping outside of my comfort zone, and it was just super amazing to do that, right? And to get him on there to do that, it was just super powerful. So I reached outside of my comfort zone and I said, "Hey, Chris, do you mind doing it?" And he's like, "What for?" Or however he said it, I forget, right? And so then I kind of like started talking to him. I hold the microphone and I talk into a phone so he can hear my voice, hear me talking, hear my energy, my love, my gratitude, and just share a little bit to him of why I follow him, right? Because of his story and everything that's about him. It's because with my online business as an entrepreneur, I always tell people you have a story to share, right? No matter how small your story is, you have a story to share. And that's why I'm interviewing Chris tonight. What's up, Brandy? Is because his story is powerful. We all have a story, no matter how big or small it is. No matter how big or small it is, we all have a story to share. So I'm going to pull out Chris here. Let me pull him up here and see where he's at. Here we go. It says add. You'll receive an invite to join. So
See if I can get this to work.
all right. So I think I was froze for a minute. Can you hear me, Chris? Oh, Chris got off. Let's try this again. There we go. It says adding Chris. Can everyone hear me? There he is. What's up, my man?
Hey, hey,
It
man.
said you declined it. I'm like, oh no, what happened?
No, it was glitching out for some reason. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I think
happened.
I froze for a minute. Because my wife and kids are watching it in the living room, and I'm here in my wife's office, and I said, "Am I live?" And she goes, "No, you're froze." So awesome. So I just want to say thank you again for doing this. Now it's different because to me you look small, but I'm guessing everyone on this that's watching us, we're probably side by side. Did you guys do it when you did this the other day with somebody? Were you actually side by side on the screen? Was it with? So you're
Yeah,
both on a phone? Okay,
right.
awesome. Because all I see you is up there in that little corner, right? So, so I just want to say thank you for coming on. Everyone that's tuning in here, I want you to share the heck out of this because this man has a heart of gold. This man is nothing but love, gratitude. He doesn't know me much, but a couple days that I've been talking to him. We did a live Zoom last night. We chatted for about 30 to 40 minutes. He got to actually at the very end, he got to see my wife and my daughter and my son. And it was just super powerful to be able to chat with you. And I actually laid in bed last night and watched your other interview, and I'm like, man, that was great. It was powerful. It was powerful. And
Nice.
I can't touch what he did, right? He was amazing. I'm going to tell you that right now. He was amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm like you. I'm just going to go with the flow. How it happens is how it happens. And we're going to get this out in front of as many people as we can, and we're going to help as many people as we can. Because you're like me. You suffer with anxiety. I suffer with anxiety. And there's so many people that we can touch in this world because
Right.
it's all of a lack of a mindset of worrying about what other people think. We're letting people judge us that we shouldn't worry about them judging us because we're going to have that all over this world because there's too much negativity in
Right.
this world, man. It's just way too much, right?
Right.
So
Right.
everyone that's on here now, give us loves, give us likes. Actually, just give us loves because we're nothing but love giving it to you right back. And it's super amazing to have you on here. So go ahead and like introduce yourself first, like just like what you how you experience like Facebook, like what you use on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like just totally like what you do with that stuff.
I don't know.
Well, first of all, tell
Obviously,
everybody your name and where you're from.
I'm Chris. Obviously, I'm from Massachusetts, and I was born in Florida. But after my accident, we moved up to Massachusetts to be closer to Shriners Hospital in Boston. So that's where I am. I'm in Massachusetts.
So how's the weather up there today?
It's cold, and it was starting to do some snow flurries, and I wasn't very happy when I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I actually had to go on a road trip today for work, and I drove up into northern PA, and we seen like white dusting on the grass and leaves. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
mackerel.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a lot of people in here too, like friends of mine that I know in the business that are from Canada and have seen blizzards already. So like, I'm
Oh,
glad
wow.
we're not seeing that yet.
Yeah. No, not yet.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So do
Yeah.
you have anybody, like while we're on here real quick before we get really going with this, do you have anybody that you want to invite? Maybe click a button, invite somebody, or make sure everyone sees everything?
I'm not sure. I shared it on my
Okay.
page as soon as you went live, so I'm hoping
Awesome.
people will see it and
Oh
join.
yeah. I'm going to see if I can actually share it to a group. I think it would be powerful to have it in a group, just a lot of people to be able to see it.
Right.
But like I said, to everyone out there, make sure you share this. So I dated the Zoom of 11, I think 11/8. Did I say the date right? Yeah, 11/8. I always, like I told you yesterday, I forget what day of the week it is. So I want to know, everyone out there that's watching, if you know of somebody in your life that it seems to have negativity, that needs more gratitude in their life, I want you to type in the comments a big red heart. I want you to type in the comments a big red heart, and me and Chris are going to sit here and watch all the red hearts, not go up through the comments. We want you to put a big red heart in the comment section and not just hit that love symbol, right? So if you know somebody that could use more gratitude in their life, hit that big red heart. Go to your comments, hit the symbols, and hit the heart, and we want to see tons of hearts go up through there. So let's start by saying you had something happen to you at a young age, right? And so what I'm going to let you, oh, there we go. Look at them hearts come in. I love it. I love it. See that? So start with like at the very beginning of where you can start with, like what comes up into your mind, what you feel like sharing with us, and kind of just open up. And I'm going to let you have it here for a little bit and just kind of go from the beginning, and we'll just kind of work our way through it.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So when I was almost 2, in June of '86, it was in Florida. I was outside in like a swing, and my mother was watching me through the window, and she looked down just for a minute. And if you have kids, you understand like a minute is like more than enough time to get in trouble. So she went to look back up, and I was gone. And when she went outside to find me, she couldn't find me anywhere. And what I had done was I had gotten into like a utility shed, and being curious, I was messing around with a gasoline can and dumped it on myself. And there was a hot water heater, and the pilot light came on and ignited the gasoline and caused it to explode. And my mother, she ran out to rescue me. She pulled me out and everything. And obviously, when something really bad goes on, the first thing you want to do is just scream for help. So she was just screaming for help, and the neighbors saw and called 911, and they came. I had to be med flighted to, I think it was Tampa General, and I was there, and they told them that I had a 1% chance to survive the night. And my family all gathered in the waiting room. They all prayed and everything, and miraculously I survived the night. And I don't remember any of it, so this is all based on what people have told me throughout growing up stuff. So I was in the hospital for 8 months. I had to have multiple skin grafts. I was one of the, I think I was the youngest at that time to survive that amount of burns. It was 97% of my body was covered with 3rd degree or worse burns.
So when you say, not to interrupt you, but when you say worse than 3rd degree burns, like I heard in your interview the other night, there is, like he said, there's a 4th degree burn, which is down to your nerves and your bones, which I learned something from that as well, listening to that, because I was burnt myself. And now that I thought about this today, and I was going to share it on here, I was burnt 10% of my body. And there's a reason why people connect, right? Because I was working at a fast food joint, and somebody poured the hot water that you use for hot tea, and they filled a pitcher of it and they poured it down my back. And it's the most, I'm saying burnt is the most fearful pain that anybody will ever go through. So for you, I'm guessing you were right around 18 months, 17 months old when this happened?
Around that, yeah. Yeah, I was, my birthday's in August, happened in June, so literally 2 months before I turned 2. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So if you had to guess, how many surgeries have you probably had?
I don't know the exact number, but I know when I was like 13 or 14, I asked my mother, and she said she lost count at 200.
Wow.
So from then on till 19 years old, I don't know the exact number, but it was over 200. So
that's crazy. That's crazy. And so in the comments, if we want to interact with everyone, right? So I want people to in the comments, if you can feel the gratitude, you can feel something that's going on in your life right now, that this makes you want to open up to other people, put a number 1 in the comments. I want you to comment number 1. If there's something going on in your life and you've always held it back and you've wanted to share it with other people, if that makes sense, put a number 1 in the comments, because people are afraid to share their stories. And I'm sure if I asked you, Chris, at one point, were you afraid to share your story?
Oh yeah. Very.
How old do you think you were when you finally came out with would happen, like being like admitting to it and without hiding?
That's a good question. I guess it probably in my teenage years, like around maybe 14 or
Okay.
15, I started telling people about it. But as far as like social media, um, I had shared it maybe a year or two ago online, and I really wasn't I really wasn't public about it. Really, I was just sharing it for like friends and
Right.
family. And then maybe a year ago, I shared it publicly, and my Facebook kind of like blew up, and it scared me. It really scared me. So I wound up kind of like not really getting rid of people, but I was kind of like, I don't want to be out in public about this just yet. This is just too much
Yeah.
for me. So I kind of like hid again, and then about 2, 3 weeks ago, I tried it again, and I'm sticking with it because I feel like it needs to be known to people, and I need to like get it out there and show people that there's more to life than what you think and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
because
So
people actually, it's amazing. Like how you said you kind of like shared it, and you're like Facebook kind of like blew up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta hide myself, right? You go right back
yeah,
into that depression, anxiety, because you're
right,
locking it all up inside, and you're not letting loose. Right?
right,
For
right,
if you actually go through the comments there was tons of ones going through there telling me that there's people
yeah,
that are afraid to share their story, or they haven't shared their story yet. You know what I mean?
right,
So it's amazing how people hold back. They hold it back, and it's like, what are you letting go? Like I was telling you the other day, is I feel better when I'm doing a go live. I feel better with myself because I'm able to, even though we don't say the perfect words, we don't say it the correct way. We're not
right,
sitting here studying a book of how to use our grammar the correct way. You know what I mean? It's like we're just
right,
being us. You're being Chris. I'm being Mike.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Or Michael, Mike, whatever you want to call me. People at work call me Skippy
right,
because of a homemade tattoo. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. The big thing is you're being yourself, and you're
right,
real. You're not faking anything because you want attention. All you are is sharing, and you're being inspirational, and you're sharing your story. And we
right,
all have I can't get it through enough to people. We all have a story. Everyone watching here, we all have a story that somebody can relate to, because there's always some kind of pain from the time we were real little as kids, something we're going to go back to. We all do it. We all do it. And it was in
right,
your interview the other night as well. We all go back to something that happened to us in the past. One of the things that's really
correct,
aggravated me recently is because my son, now he just turned 8, but he was 7, and my parents got divorced when I was 7. My daughter's 14, and my mom kicked me out when I was 14. So things happen for a reason, and people connect just like you and me. There's a reason. We don't know yet. I do kind of know, but
right,
there's a reason why you and me connected. I know
right,
we can touch so many lives and help so many people. So
right.
my other thing would be is, um, how old are your daughters, so everyone knows your daughters and your daughter names.
Trinity is 11, and Nevaeh is 13.
And how do they take you, like when, like at first, and kind of tell us a little bit of how it started at the beginning and kind of to where they are now, like how it kind of progressed.
They haven't really showed any signs of like feeling any certain way towards the way I look. They've always just known me this way, so to them it was just normal. So like when we go out in public or something, they're very protective of me.
Yeah.
So when people are staring or when people are, I don't know, pointing or saying something, they'll come up right up beside me, hug me or kiss me or play around and poke me or whatever, and I'll poke them and we just play around or whatever. And they like try to show people, there's more, more to just the way I look. And like especially with the kids, like kids don't understand, so I don't blame them. So like I have no problem with kids when they stare or whatever. So like, but whenever kids do it, they like to like show the kids that like if they touch me, they're fine. Because you know a lot of kids would think that if they touched me, something would happen to them. So my kids would come up to me, like grab my hand, give me a five or whatever, and hug me, and then look at them and smile and be like, "That's my dad," and all this stuff. So it's really cool how they take it. It doesn't faze them a bit. It's just like okay, whatever. This is
It's my
normal.
dad. It's my dad, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we've been in public, and I know my daughter or my son have stared at somebody, even like a short person, and it's like, don't stare. They can't
right,
help why they're like that, right? It's how they were born, or something might have happened
right,
that they're like that. You can't stare, and young kids, it's hard because they don't have that fear. They want to learn. They want to know. They want to ask
right.
questions, and the parents are kind of like, "No, you don't want to ask. No, you don't want to ask." You know what I mean? Don't be
Yeah,
afraid to share because that's the only way they're going to learn. If if
exactly.
they don't ask, if they're afraid to walk up to you and ask you what's wrong, they're going to come up with their own speculation and they're going to judge you, or they're going
Right,
to assume something that isn't true because they didn't ask the
right.
question. If that makes sense to everyone that's watching here, comment number 2 in the comments if that makes sense. What me and Chris were saying, where if your kids come up across somebody and they have a question about them, don't be afraid to ask,
Mhm.
because kids don't know. They're curious. They're learning. When you know, Chris, I'm sure when you were young, right? When there goes a number 2, there's a number 2. There we go. There's, see how the twos come across. People understand that, and they need to let them be curious. And if you think when you were young, right, and you were like, after everything was going through and you were getting a little older, you were starting to notice that, hey, I got some things going on. I need to learn different ways. How did you manage to like get through of like learning how to use your hand? For people that don't know, can you show your hands? People don't realize.
Yeah, this this is my right hand,
So you're,
and then I gotta hold the phone. So hold on, and this is
yep.
my left
So
hand.
so your right hand, or is it right hand? You said that.
Yep, my right hand.
So your one hand, there's no fingers, right?
Right.
So how do you learn to be able to use your hands? Like, how long, like, I remember, I think I seen in the other interview, you were saying your dad like always forced you got to keep going, you got to push, you know what I mean? And just talk about
Right.
that a little bit.
Yeah, I was like when I was younger, obviously I had to relearn how to walk, how to do everything again. And then my dad would say that don't help him so he can figure out how to use what he has to adapt in this world so that as he gets older, he's going to know how to use what he has. So I had to, like, at first, my left hand used to be like the fingers used to be back more. Like, it almost was like touching, like, my wrist almost, if that makes
Yep.
sense. But throughout surgeries, they slowly started getting it back down to where it is now. So I'm able to use it more. So it was kind of weird growing up because I get used to one way, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, now you have this, you got to get used to it this way now. And then the next year or following year, they're like, all right, so now we got this, you got to do
And
it
you're
this
like,
way
man, I
now. I'm
just
like,
learned how
oh,
to
okay.
do it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. But it's just it sometimes it takes me a while, but eventually I'm a very hands-on person. So once I start doing something, I can catch on pretty fast, and then I just learn how to do it my way. It might look weird or different, but I get it done,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter.
Awesome. Awesome. So it just, you're, dude, I'm telling you, you put a smile on my heart every time I talk to you. It's huge. And I was going actually through your Facebook today, not to be a nosy person. I just wanted to see some older pictures, right? I wanted to go back and
You're
see
good.
some of the kids when they were younger and you growing up, you know what I mean? So
All right.
talk about what made you think about starting a family. I didn't even talk to you about this yesterday. Like, what made you think about, you fell in love, right? And you wanted to
All
start
right.
a family. Like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So growing up, I was always told I couldn't have kids because I had so much different medicines and stuff that were done to me that they just assumed I wouldn't be able to have kids. So when I was younger, I just, I was set on never having kids, but I still wanted to fall in love with somebody and share life with them. So like I after my father died in 2000, I think it was, like a year later, a friend of mine introduced me to this girl that he went to school with that her mother had passed away, so he was like, maybe you could help her. So we got to talking and we talked for a while and then eventually we started dating and then like a year and a half later we got married and she was pregnant and she had a miscarriage
Uh,
unfortunately and it was twins and I blamed myself for it because I figured this was a side effect of whatever medicine I've had throughout my life. That's why they didn't survive. Well, come to find out, she had Rh negative blood, so the blood attacked the fetuses. So we got that situated, and then Nevaeh came about a year later or so, and I named her Nevaeh. It's heaven literally spelled backwards,
awesome.
and the reason why I did that is because she was literally a gift from heaven for me. That she's not supposed to be here, and here she is.
It's awesome.
And then 2 years later, we had Trinity. And Trinity had been through some stuff, so I don't know. When I was trying to come up with the name, I wanted to have different names for my kids, like something that stood out more than just regular names that you hear throughout, growing up or
Right.
whatever. So I felt like something was telling me, name her Trinity. It just stuck out. So I named her Trinity, and when she was about, I want to say 3 or 4 months old, she had a really high fever, and we thought, she was teething or whatever, but it was just getting worse. She wasn't eating, she wasn't doing much of anything, so we brought her to the hospital, and she had bacterial meningitis,
Wow.
and they weren't sure how she was going to come about. So she was in there for about, I think, a week and a half to 2 weeks, and she was fine. Like, no side effects, no nothing. Everything was good. So we got to bring her home and everything. And then about when she was 8 or 9 months, I think it was, we used to work at a church. I used to run like the soundboard, the tech stuff. So we had a babysitter who we had known for years. I mean, years. And they went to the church too. So they volunteered to help watch the kids while we were at church. So we're like, all right. So we let them watch them. And then we came home that night.
Oh, I think he froze. I think Chris froze. I don't think I froze. There he is. There he is.
Sorry.
That's all right. So you
Sorry,
said,
my phone was being weird.
oh, you're
Sorry.
fine. So you said you came home from church?
Yeah, we came home from church after that, and the babysitter brought Trinity out, and she didn't look very good. Like she was very pale. Her eyes were rolled back, and she had stuff coming out of her mouth. She had bruises on her.
Bruising.
And the babysitter said that it was because she was laying on her bottle, and we were like, no, that would not happen. So we rushed her to the hospital, and she had like internal bleeding. She had a ruptured liver. She had broken ribs, and a lot of internal bleeding. They didn't think she was gonna survive.
Wow.
Well, come to find out, they finally got it out of the guy that babysat that he had beat her
What?
because she was crying, and they arrested him and everything. And because of all that, child services blamed it on us and said that we were neglectful. So they were taken. Both kids were taken from us. But the hospital that Trinity was in was the same hospital she was in for bacterial meningitis. And the staff there remembered us, so they're like, no, 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 these are good parents. We want them to stay with their daughter while she's here. So thankfully, we were allowed to stay there with her while she was getting treatment and everything. And then they took Nevaeh from us, and they were gonna put her in a foster home, but my sister got a hold of them before they could. So my sister got to keep Nevaeh while Trinity was in the hospital. And then as soon as Trinity was out, she had to go home with my sister, and we weren't allowed to talk to them or anything. Like, we were being punished for something we didn't even do.
Wow.
So after a couple of months, they let us take them back, but we had to have visitations from child services and everything to prove, that we're good parents. So they came and I think we had to deal with them for about, if I remember, like 5, 6 months or so, and then they just dropped everything. They said, "You guys are good. We're sorry. This is just, part of the law or whatever." But they dropped it all, and we had the kids back, and Trinity was fine. She had nothing after that, and she was like, obviously, she's still living, going strong and
Ain't
everything.
that
So
it's sad that you almost nowadays think you should have a camera watching every aspect of your children
right,
because you just don't
right,
know other people at all. And we
exactly,
have a security system. We have cameras that watch the pool. We have the Ring doorbell that people ring. I like messing with people. The pizza guy comes and I say, "Hey, how you doing?" I mean, it's crazy that we have to live in a society like that because it's just so much hatred and negativity out there in this world where people think that they
right,
can't get by when all they have to do is put a little effort in there. There's
right,
people that have things that you wish sometimes you probably wish you had. And they
right,
rather break the law to try to go get it, And it's
yeah,
like,
right,
I don't understand. And it's like, we push through, we go through our day. We show our gratitude, we show our love, we show how thankful we are for things. And I always tell people, you should write down every day 10 things that you're grateful for every single day, because there's so many
right,
things you'll never run out. You'll never run out of the list.
right,
So maybe if you could do that for me, start even writing them in your phone or talking into your phone of 10 things in your notes and just date it and say 10 things every single day that you're grateful for. Because I'm telling you, there's
yeah,
so many things to be grateful for that people don't even realize it. And that's truly magic right
right,
there.
right,
So not to change the subject, we'll come back. But another thing is, Chris has been needing a tripod, and me and my wife reached out to him on his Go Live the other day, and we purchased him a tripod. And we're going to send you something else too,
okay,
because I have the book, The Magic. I don't have one right here. It's out at my dining room table, but it's a 20. I've read it so many times, my mind's going blank here. It's like 27 days of the magic, where it teaches you love and gratitude, and it gives you things to do each day. And
awesome,
I want you to have that book. So we're going to send that to you when we send the tripod as well. Because
awesome.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you,
Because when
thank
Chris does go lives, he's like out in the middle by a lake or a river, whatever it may be, and he's always holding his phone, and it's hard for you to hold your phone, right? So my wife
right,
got him this tripod that he was talking about, that it stands up in the air. Now, I already asked her if she could get me one too. So it like stands up, so he doesn't have to hold the phone. He can be himself. He can be with the girls. He can enjoy nature and just let it sit there. And you know what's also maybe a little meditation for people is just sit it by the creek where some water's running, and just you
mm,
sit beside it, enjoy yourself with your stillness, right? And
right,
just let people listen to that, but every now and then let them know you're there. You know what I mean? I think that'd be
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
that would be, yeah,
So if everyone is really, my wife said the tripod was not delivered yet. Well, we know he knows it's coming. He knows it's coming. You've already ordered it. The, One of the things I want everyone in the comments, if you haven't shared it, please share this, because Chris wants to reach as many people as he can. And he wants to get it out there in front of as many people. So whether you're friends, because I've been getting friend requests from people that you know. I'm like, who is this person? And I'm
nice,
like, okay. So I accepted it. And, I accepted probably 5 or 10 people that have been friends with you. And I had a guy reach out to me. I don't know if he wanted to interview me or what, but he was like talking to me, like wanted to put me in some groups. And I'm like, that's amazing, man. I love talking to people. I love
nice,
helping people. And I said, I just have something with Chris that I'm going to connect with Chris, and he's going places. He's going to touch thousands of lives, and I'm here to support you 110% with that. Here to support you.
Thank you.
So
Nice. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. You're welcome, brother. Nothing but gratitude, brother. So I wrote a couple things down here, like the law of attraction. Have you heard of the book Think and Grow Rich? Okay,
No.
so I actually when I was at my online event in Vegas in October, the beginning of October, I got to watch Bob Proctor. Now, do you or the girls watch Netflix? Okay,
Yes.
so you'll have to look up. It's called The Secret, and it's the law of attraction, where how things were attracted to like-minded things, like why things happen to us during our day. Why, if you're going to wake up in the morning grumpy, down on yourself, like I'll send you the link to it, that way you have it. But it's like people are down on themselves. When you start your day negative and down, it's just gonna multiply worse and worse and worse every single day, right? It's just gonna go by. So if that makes sense to people with the law of attraction, I want you to type in the chat. This might be a little challenging for some, but I want you to type in the chat, law of attraction. Let's make you type out something. Type out law of attraction, because we attract like-minded people. So if Chris is going to do a go live during the week, no matter if it's once a week, twice a week, 7 days a week, whatever it may be, if he's going to be on there negative and down, he's going to attract negative down people, right? When you're on there giving your inspiration to people, there we go, it says love the law of attraction. Okay, so she said love the law of attraction. All right, Tara, awesome. So when you actually are giving out positive energy, and you got so much energy that you want to share it with so many people, no matter if we're talking soft, loud, hands movements, whatever it may be, you're going to attract them same kind of people. Now, I did notice, and I heard this on your other interview, but I don't remember your answer. You do have a lot of women friends. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I honestly do not know.
I did notice you have a lot of women friends.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though, because a lot of women out there like to be able to share things maybe different than men, right? There we go. We got law of attraction, law of attraction. What else we got here? Law of attraction. Love the law of attraction. Awesome. Thanks you, everybody. Kathy says amen. Kristen says, Chris, you are a hero. He is a hero in all of our hearts. Let's go through some of these comments real quick here. Is it Legay? I don't want to mess up the names. I feel so bad when I mess up names.
It's Legay.
Legay?
Legay. That's my mother. That's my mother.
Awesome, Legay. It's pleasure. It's a pleasure, Legay, to actually not meet you right now, but actually talk to you. That is so amazing. You said, thank you for helping my son. You're welcome. You're welcome. Nothing but love and gratitude. That's what this is about. That's amazing. I got a bigger smile even yet, man. I got a bigger smile yet. Talking to your mom. Heather Kyle says, you've touched my life, Chris. You're touching people already and you don't even know it. Ashley Clapper says, amen. Legay Cole says, your mom says, I'm grateful my Christopher lived. Amen to that. Amen to that. I mean, it's truly amazing. Kristen says, because he has a great smile. Because you got a great smile, you attract all them women.
I guess.
It's a huge smile. The other night, I think, or the other day you did that interview, he said, what did he call it? The 50-mile smile? And he said, you're going to have a book with that on. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm not going to take his credit. He did an amazing job. I'm telling you, what was his name? Lauren did an amazing job, dude. He did an amazing job.
He did. That was really cool.
Yeah. And he does amazing things for so many people. And I haven't actually connected with him on Facebook. I'm going to have to. But just watching his interviews, it's touching. It's touching.
Yeah.
And it's truly amazing. So I have on here the law of attraction. So one of the questions I was going to ask, I should have asked this earlier. It doesn't matter. We do things as we go. Is when did you notice, or how old do you think you were when you noticed that, hey, I got to do things different, but be my own personality. If that makes sense to you. Does that
Mm,
make sense?
right. Yeah. Yeah. I guess most of it hit was during teenage years, but I guess it's more recent actually because I'm still trying to learn to express who I really am and not hide it so much because I've always been just so scared to just step out of my comfort zone and just be me. So I've been hiding myself for years and years, and it's like you said earlier, it's depressing. It's very depressing. So I guess during my when I was in high school, I was fine. I would let people know, who I am, my personality and stuff, and I really didn't get bullied much at all in school, which is cool because I don't know, I was able to make everybody laugh and smile, so everybody liked
Yeah.
me. So I was friends with everybody. I didn't care who they were. I was just friends with everybody. So, but after high school, I don't know what it was. Something hit me, and that was when I just closed up. I just didn't want to be out there. I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to. I was more ashamed of how I looked than I should have been. And there was there was a recent incident like about 5 years ago that happened that really hit me. It was when my ex-wife left, and that really hurt. Like it put a huge damper on my self-esteem and everything
You were in
because
love.
the first thing, oh yeah, first thing I thought was, she didn't want to be with a monster anymore, and that's why she left. And that I blame
I
myself
don't
for
even want you to say monster anymore. Don't say that. Don't say that. That's in the
it.
past.
Well, I'm just saying that's how I felt at that time. So it was it's been hard since then because I've had to like really focus on just me and my kids and just make sure that they're okay and make sure that they're happy. And I kind of was putting it all like pushing myself aside that whole time and just making it where it was just them. And which is good, it's good to put your kids first, but at the same time, you have to take care of yourself too, because if you don't, it gets bad. And then I went through some dark places in my mind for a while that I don't even want to talk about,
Yeah.
but like depression was bad. It was really bad. And it took me a while. It took maybe about a year or two ago for me to really accept everything that happened and be able to move on from it and just keep pushing and pushing. And so I guess it's about a year or two ago was when I've really been trying to be me and show the world, hey, this is Chris. I'm not really this guy just sitting there shy or closing up all the
Yeah.
time. Like I'm really a big
Yeah.
kid.
You kind of. Uh oh. Uh oh. Hold on. I think he got off of here. Hold on. Let's see. Let me invite him here. I know Chris was saying about service and stuff, so let me get him back on here. Everyone keep stay tuned here. We got Chris coming here. Everybody stay tuned. Here we go. He's coming on. He's coming on. He's coming on.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my phone. I'm
It might be the
sorry.
internet. I told everybody, I say, stay tuned, just stay on. I see my dad popped on, some
I'm
other people
sorry.
from Canada. I'm like, stay on there. Don't go nowhere because he's still on here. Make sure you share this with as many people as you can because they're going to see this replay, right? This replay is going to be even more
Yeah.
powerful. People, it's going to see so many people because if you think one share, the average person has 500 friends. For every share, take that times 500 people that could possibly get in front of. Well, yesterday's post of mine about this had 34 shares. I don't know how many Chris has had, but that's just totally amazing. So you take that times 500 and how many possibly people we could have had in front of people right now. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
Right.
So
Right.
it's an easy
Right.
way. So what I wanted to say when you were talking about that is it's amazing how you were focusing on your kids and yourself, but the biggest thing and you realize it now, you have to like and love yourself before you can like and love anybody else.
Exactly.
And
Right.
so did you actually talk to somebody or counseling, or did you actually just finally just something click and you just started?
Something clicked because what happened was I I had gotten into a relationship recently, and it was more like I guess I was tired of being alone, so I was just like I just want
Yeah.
somebody, and it didn't work out, and it hurt, but at the same time it was like a wake up call
Mm-hmm.
to me because it was like Chris, you need to chill, man. Like you're the way you feel about yourself and the way you're going about it is just it's not fair to other people and it's not fair to
Yeah.
you because it's like you said, if I don't love myself, how can I love somebody else? Because when they're saying all this stuff to me, like, oh, I love you for this and this, I'm telling them, oh, no, that's not true. That's not good. And that's not, you can't
Right.
do that. You can't tell someone that loves something about you that it's not good because it's not really nice,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, it's something clicked in my head where it's just like, dude, you need to chill and you need to be Chris. You need to start liking yourself, accept the way you look. Don't let it make you hide. You know, there's a reason for it. There's a reason you look this way. There's a reason what has happened to you throughout your whole life that has led you to where you are
Yeah.
today. And I was like, all right, let's do
Yeah.
this. Let's do this.
Awesome. And I want everyone to realize, if that makes sense, what me and Chris are saying is you got to like and love yourself before you can ever like or love anyone else. No matter what this, you
Exactly.
could be a father, a mother, an aunt, an uncle, a nephew, a cousin, a married, engaged, single. It doesn't matter. If you don't like and love yourself, how are you liking and loving the people that you're with?
Exactly.
You're not being honest with yourself, and you want to be honest with them, so you have to take care of this first. Chris had to take care of
Yep.
him. Now, a lot of people have to use counseling, pills and medications and everything else to try to fix it, but luckily something just triggered. I mean, Chris has
Yeah.
got the Lord on his side where something just triggered, man, and he's like, you go out there and be you and do you. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Be you and do
Yeah.
you, because you're powerful. You're going to
Yeah.
touch lives. And I seen somebody in the comments a little bit ago. It said, do you have a book? All right. So this is my comment. If you know anybody that writes books, Chris will be more than happy to talk to that guy. And he'll write a book today or tomorrow or whenever. Because I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now, this story should be shared all over the world, and it should be on bookshelves for everyone. And I'm sure there's more to it where he could have thousands of pages in a book. You know what I mean? It'd be super powerful.
Mm.
So if somebody out there watches this, you know what I mean, and you can hook him up with getting a book out there, that'd be truly amazing. Truly amazing.
Yeah.
Getting a book. I'd even sit with you and you could do autographs and we just hand them out. You know what I mean? Just hand them out. It'd be amazing. It'd be
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I can see your two girls and my two kids over here just playing along, probably knocking books off the bookshelf somewhere. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah. Oh yeah.
So, one of the other things is, tell us a little bit here. Yet, I want to go into this a little bit because I heard this in the other interview. Is you were talking about Halloween, and
Mhm.
and Halloween just passed for everyone, right? And before
Right.
I ask this question, I want people to know in the comments, type a number 2 if you're getting love, gratitude, value, and you are being touched by what we are talking about here tonight. So put a number 2 in the comments. So what happened that Halloween was so different, or it kind of share with what you were talking about the other night that I kind of watched, and I was kind of shocked that you said it. I didn't really know that kind of stuff happened. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So like Halloween, I like all that stuff. I'm like into all like the skeletons and skulls and all that. And like so but it's a little emotional for me, I guess you could say. Because that's when like people think I'm dressed up or have some kind of makeup on or something. And the the memory that I have that really still kind of stings me is when I was a teenager. I don't know the exact age, but I remember being younger as a teenager. I went into the grocery store and where you go to the bakery, you know how they give you cookies sometimes. So I was going to the bakery and I reached to get a cookie. And when the lady gave it to me, she handed it to me and she goes, "Wow, aren't you glad you don't always look like that?" And I was
What?
like, "Oh, okay."
Really?
So I just was, yeah, so I just shrugged and I was like, "Well, I do." And I just walked
I'd have
away.
probably threw the cookie back
And
at her.
then, no, I'm eating that cookie. You kidding? So that's the only memory I really have that really stings. But it I can kind of use it to my advantage sometimes because when I go into like a Halloween shop or something, I can like just stand there really still, and then people will come up to me and I'll just blink or move, and they're like, "Whoa!" and all that stuff.
So you play around with it. You have a little bit
So
of a game with
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, God.
So that's yeah,
I can't. I probably would have threw the cookie back, even though I love cookies. You know what I mean? I got a little belly on me. I ain't afraid to share. Well, that's something. But then again, she didn't know, right? And that's
right,
where we were saying earlier, where parents don't let their young kids ask questions when they see that thing or talk about it. Like, I
yeah,
don't know if my parents would have sat here. Well, I know they wouldn't have done a go live with somebody. And even though my dad was on here watching a minute ago, and just like what they would, I'm trying to think of what they would have told me if you were walking down the street and I was a young kid. My dad probably would have just said, "Don't say nothing." I would think,
yeah,
instead of just stopping and saying, "Hey, how are you?" and having a nice conversation and getting to know you, instead of just
right,
walking by you and judging you. You know what I mean?
all right, all right,
And if and that's what we were saying earlier in this conversation, is that's so powerful how you can touch so many people's lives, because we want young people also. And like you were telling me, is you might want to be like a speaker or a motivational speaker. You don't really know your niche yet, right? You're thinking of
all
things.
right,
There's a lot of things popping up. Now you're kind of getting a lot of you're getting your face out there in front of so many people in your story that
mm-hmm,
you just don't know what the right way is yet. You're still learning it, right?
all right,
And
yeah,
me
all
being
right,
an entrepreneur, I go for, yeah, you make an income, right? But I'm also looking for that free life where no one's telling me what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. You know what I mean?
all right,
So it's that freedom of, what can I do to touch people's lives? Like, one of my passions is coaching kids. I love coaching,
mm-hmm,
and you kind of remind me of me. Where you're probably like me. You're an instigator, right? You like instigate. You
all
get the
right,
kids all worked up. You're instigating. You're like trying to get them fired up even more, just to have a good time, because
all right,
you want them to smile. You want them to laugh. And I love your smile. You're always. I love it when you put that smile on your face. You're just like, you like glow, man. You glow. I'm telling you. Everyone,
yeah,
put some more hearts out there. Just put some more hearts in the comments. I mean, you just glow, man. You glow.
yeah,
And it's just super amazing. And I'm just so grateful to be able to talk to you. And I feel now that this is just the start of a relationship, a great friendship between us
yeah,
and our family and your family. And we'll talk daily, because I remember
yeah,
before I reached out to you, and it took a little while before you got back to me. And I messaged you today, and it was like, bang, you were there, right?
yeah,
And like, I was sitting out in the recliner earlier before I was getting ready to, I was like getting ready, and then I messaged you and I said, I don't know how to go live. There's a new update on the phone. And here, all I had to do was clear out my phone, pull up Facebook again, and look at all them hearts. I love it. And it said live again. So I don't understand that, but I was like freaking out. My wife's like, "You should have been prepared." And what I was going to say, though, is I was sitting out on the recliner and I was like, "Hey, look at that. Chris, he's seen the story that I shared this morning of me when I was holding my son when he was a baby. He was in NICU."
mm,
And that's another one of my stories. We have many stories, right? That
right,
was we didn't think he was going to survive. Um,
right,
and one of the things that, like with him, is they were giving him, I think you say perfacta, because his lungs weren't producing perfacta, and so
mm,
they were giving him medication. His third dose, if it wouldn't have worked, he wouldn't have made it. So
Oh
it's
man.
the same. We all have stories to share, and I can't get it through
Yeah.
enough to tell people is share your stories. Don't be afraid to share. And if you ever want myself to give you an interview, I'm here to do an interview for whoever you want to do an interview for. And maybe one day I can get Chris interviewing other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That'd be
That
cool.
would be cool. And you could share it and get it out there for the world. But if there's somebody out there that's watching and has a story and they feel like they need to open up and they feel like they've been like hit rock bottom, because we've been at rock bottom. Like Chris has been at rock bottom. You know what I mean? And he dug out himself. The life that he wants, he's going for his goals, he's going after his dreams, and he's not letting anything stop him. So if there's someone else out there watching tonight, or somebody watches this replay, and you want an interview and you want to get your story out there, feel free to reach out to me or Chris. If you're friends with Chris and you're not friends with me, we'll connect. We'll connect with you, and we can actually get a couple people on and just be able to share as many people as we can, and people can get out there with their story. I think it would be huge. I think it'd be amazing, and we can help so many people, because anxiety and depression is a lot better when you're talking about it than keeping it all sucked
Oh
in.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
powerful. Powerful. So what'd you think of the interview? I mean, we'll just have a little small chat here before we get off. And what'd you think?
That's
But,
fun. I like it. I like it a
so
lot. Yeah.
let's see if anybody will comment. We got tons of comments. I mean, there's comments coming across the screen all the time, and you're used to that in your Go Lives. So does anyone have any questions that are watching that maybe Chris could answer or I could answer? Either one of us. You have a question for either one of us? We'll do a little bit of Q&A here for a little bit. See if anybody has any questions. Sandy's my mother-in-law. Sandy Miller, that's my mother-in-law. She's a big follower of yours. When Chris and the girls come visit, I want to meet him too. Awesome. Megan says, I do have friends that would be happy to share his story. Do they write books? If they write books, he'd love to write a book someday. That'd be awesome. There you go. I'm trying, man. I'm trying for you. Jason, I coach with Jason Nadig there. His wife is in the business with me. He says your story will move people. It will. It'll touch thousands of people, because it's not just his story. It's him opening up, showing other people they can open up about anything in their life. Anything.
Right.
Karen
Right.
says, look at that 5 Mile Smile. There, that's the name of the book already. We got it. Brandon says, Chris Gift will listen to anyone. I had a few. Rebecca, I'll wave to Rebecca. I know you said to your daughter the other day, don't wave. You don't need to wave. I love waving to people when they pop.
Yeah, they love to do that.
Kristen says, I hope people will donate for him as he needs a car. Yes, he is doing, what's it called? He's doing a GoFundMe, and he's raising money to repair or get a new car.
Whatever I can do. I do need a new one, because literally, like, when you touch something on the bottom of the car, stuff literally just falls off.
Okay, well,
Let's
do. Hey, Lisa, can you get the GoFundMe link and put it in the comments? If you're able to find that, put it in the comments, or if afterwards, Chris, feel free to put that link in the comments anywhere when you do that.
Okay.
And I'll also find that post about it and tag me, or I'll have Lisa show me, and I'll share it over my page as well.
Okay.
Lisa said, yes, please promote to help Chris get a new car. That would be amazing. What would you want, a little smart car?
I don't care. Whatever I can get.
Jessica says, my brother is amazing and his smile lights the world. Is that your sister?
That's my sister.
Nice to meet you, Chris's sister. Desiree says, what is your dream that you see happen in your life? Good question.
Yeah. I guess, like, my dream would be, like I talked to you about, like, wanting to speak on stage to people, or even go into schools and stuff, just talking to kids and letting them know, like, people are different, but it doesn't matter how they look, because people will surprise you, because when people look at me, they don't think I can do half the things they can do. and then I surprise them and they're like, whoa, okay. And it's just cool because I've met people who have it worse than me. Like when I was in the hospital, there's kids that like have no hands at all or no legs or don't have sight or anything like that, and they can still do amazing things. And it just blows me away because it's like we have the power in us to do things that we don't think we can do. We can do it when we put our minds to
Oh
it.
yeah.
So that would be like something I would really love to do is to go to schools or I don't know, churches or events or just to talk to people and tell them my story and just sharing it with everybody.
Right. Oh, my dad just said I got to drive. So he probably only could watch so long. He drives truck, right? So he was probably
Oh,
in a
okay.
dock. But thanks, Dad, for watching. Chris appreciates you watching. We really do appreciate that. So Lisa put in the comments your GoFundMe link in there. So it's in there. So anyone that watches now or is watching the replay, the GoFundMe link is in there. So that's super powerful. Heather Renault, my sister-in-law, just popped on. I see. Jason said you should public speak. It would help the kids, especially those that are in need of encouragement. Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. There's a
Yeah, I would
there's a
love
big
that.
thing with bullying now. You know what I mean? And my
Yeah.
my daughter's been bullied, um, and sometimes I always tell her you need to ignore it. You need to if
Hmm.
that's not going to bother you in 5 years, why let it bother you in 5 minutes or 4 or 5 minutes? You know what I mean? Just
Right.
you need to
Right.
block it out. Stop getting in the drama. You don't need to be in the drama. I know sometimes
Exactly.
teenagers they don't understand. They're learning. It's their first year of high school. Your oldest
Yeah.
is probably in middle school. You know what I mean? So I know next
Hmm.
year starts high school and it's a whole new beginnings. You know.
Hmm. Yeah.
So um, trust me, my daughter's only a year older than your oldest, so I know.
Uh,
So I'm here to give you advice too, to say, hey, this is what you need to look out for. But um, there's too much bullying in this world, and people got to
yeah.
stop judging people, and be more
Hmm.
friendly and love and gratitude. My wife says anything and
Right.
everything will help. Donating after this go live. Oh yes, so awesome, honey. Thank you, honey, for doing that. Me and Chris surely do
Thank
appreciate it,
you.
and you are very welcome, Chris. Does anybody else have any other questions for Chris or myself? Uh, is it Jabria? When's your next? When's your next video? So, do you mean like go live, or when's your next interview, or because I have no one scheduled for an interview? If you want to do an interview, and Chris is probably going to be going to go live sometime in the next day or two or a couple days, whenever he feels like popping on.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
so yeah, any time. John Spence said hello all. Hello, John. Thanks for watching. Laura said, "Oh man, I missed it. Just got on. There's a replay. We're doing a go live. This will be a replay, and I'm sure people will. I'll actually share this to the anxiety and depression group that I'm part of because I shared
Okay.
it in there yesterday that we were going to do this. So I'll share
All
it in
right.
there as well because a lot of people will be able to see it that suffer also with anxiety and depression. Um,
Hmm.
Karen said, "What made you finally made you aware of how aware you are?" Ooh, that's a tongue twister.
I don't know. It just happened like I told you a few weeks ago when I just started sharing my story again and it just blew up and I don't know. I really didn't expect any of this. Like I was expecting it to just be out there and
Yeah,
that's it. Nothing else would happen. And then I just started getting messages and friend requests and all kinds of things over and over and over. And I was like, whoa, okay. But I'm enjoying it because I'm I'm learning a lot of things from people that people are telling me their stories that they wouldn't tell other people, and people are telling me things that they're going through, and it feels good to know that people have enough, like I guess confidence or I don't know the word right now, but feel comfortable enough to come to me and tell me things that they normally wouldn't tell other people. And I don't have all the answers. I wish I had all the answers, but I try to help people as much as I can. Like I know I've had a few people who were recently thinking about suicide and they saw my story and they were touched and they changed their life entirely. And that makes a big
Amen.
difference to me, just to know that I was able to stop them from ending their life. And because I don't want people to do that, I want people to live and experience life, and because you never know what you can bring to the
Yeah.
world. Like if you take your life, then that's a life that's missing out. Like you never know what that person could have done for someone else or even the world if they hadn't have done that. And it's just I'm hoping I can help people, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tara says, you guys are totally inspirational. If you guys start a new group, please sign me up. Have been so hurt by other groups and I can't hit there it is. I hit the see more button. Hurt by other groups, just trying to give my all. If you ever need a writer, ? I have no money to offer, but I've been published. It'd be my honor. Tara, you need to connect with Chris.
I know Tara. Tara's a good
There
friend
you
of
go,
mine.
Chris. You got somebody that'll write
She's
for you,
cool.
bro. Get somebody to write for you. That's a start. Laura said, yes, sir. Michelle says, hey, Chris. Desiree says, thank you. God bless. Heather says, love hearing your story, Chris. John Spence says, welcome. Glad to be here. Yes. When do you guys do another video? My phone went out on half of this amazing video. I would like to hear both of y'all's story. So, and that's, I hope I'm not saying the name wrong, but it's Jabria. Is that how you say that? Jabria. This will definitely be a replay. I'm actually going to, you can connect with, if you're not connected with Chris or if you're not connected with me on Facebook, connect with both of us. And, you can look at both of our pages. This will be live, so you'll be able to watch this as a go live. I'll probably run it as a watch party as well. That way other people can see it live. Another thing is, I'd be more than happy to share my story. I'll do a go live probably next week. And even though I won't be interviewed, I'll actually share my story about myself, about what's kind of opened my eyes up, why I'm grateful for the job that I have, but why I also run an online business and how I'm able to touch so many other people's lives as well. So I'd be more than happy to share that in the next couple of days, because we're actually going to Philadelphia tomorrow to Legoland. We're taking our son and his friends to Legoland. So I'll be staying in a hotel tomorrow night and then coming home on Sunday. So it'll be super amazing. And you'll see pictures all over Facebook. Legacy said, thank you for interviewing my son. Good job. You are totally, totally welcome. Thank you for bringing such an amazing son into this world that we are all grateful for. And he will change and help and support so many people in this world. It's totally amazing, Legacy. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Karen said, amen. Michelle said, it's because you're amazing. You're amazing. Debria said, I see Chris does tea time, and I seen his last video with the half ruined donate that I got messed up. I don't know what that meant.
A donut.
Oh, donut.
There was a donut I had that got messed up.
See, my grammar stinks.
Oh, good.
He does like donuts, and we talked about donuts last night on our Zoom together. My wife said, I am emailing the Ellen Show and Dr. Phil. They need to hear Chris's story. Awesome, honey. There you go. Amela said, hey, hi, Chris Tomlinson. So proud of you. Karen said, amen. Kathy says, amen. Laura says, definitely. Wendy sends hearts. Karen says, you're such a blessing. Lori said, I have a question. It's a, let me click on the more here. We got a question. Why is it so hard to hit see more? All right, here we go. It's a long one. I have a question. It's a very different situation. My son is in a wheelchair, nonverbal, and my daughter gets very upset when he is stared at, talked about, etc. because people assume he doesn't understand. She feels like she is his protector at the age of 8. So my question is, do you girls ever act or feel like the need to protect or defend you?
Oh yeah,
So
all the
maybe you want
time,
to maybe just
all the
want to give
time we
her
do.
a couple minutes here and kind of go over that with her.
Yeah, like I said a little bit ago earlier about when people stare at me and stuff in stores and such, they like to get right up next to me. They like to hug me or kiss me or play a game where they poke me and I poke them back or whatever. If it's a kid, they like to hug me and like hold my hand or something to show, show the kid that if they touch me that nothing's gonna happen to them. They're not gonna turn into this too or whatever. And they like to show like that I'm kind of childish too. So when we're at parks and stuff, they'll come up to me and they'll just tackle me, and then I'll just get up and we run around the park together. I'll swing on the swings with them. I'll do whatever with them. I look like a big kid, and they always, whenever they have friends or whatever, they always have to make sure they like bring them to me and be like, "Look, this is my dad. You gotta meet my dad." And they'll tell them all about me and everything. And they're like, "He's the coolest" and all this stuff. And then they're protective when like if people say rude things or whatever. Like my oldest, being a teenager, she'll snap back sometimes. I was like, no, no, chill, chill. Like she'll say things. I'm like, no, chill. And then like they're good with like when, like you said, like how I suffer with depression and anxiety. When that hits, they know when it hits, and they'll come up next to me and hold me, or they'll come up to me and like tell me something. Like recently, my youngest, she wrote a little letter to me telling me how awesome I was and thanking me for being there for them and not leaving them and walking out or anything, and that I do everything I can for them. And that helps a lot. Like when your kids just come out of nowhere and express love, it's just the greatest thing ever.
Yes,
Like
it
it's
is.
amazing because that's a love that it's just always there, Like I don't have to fight for that or whatever. It's just, bam, I
Yeah.
got them. They love me to death, and I'd do anything for those
Awesome.
girls, anything. So
Lori, I hope that helps. It's just super powerful what he just said there. I hope you guys can make your dreams come true. We definitely, not hope. Hope is a bad word to use. Hope is saying that you just don't know if it's going to happen or not. We know our dreams will come true. I know
mm,
that Chris is a badass. I know that I am a badass. I know Chris will help thousands of people, if not millions of people. We know. We don't hope, we know. Put that in your
right,
vocabulary. Um, I learned that in the mindset thing. I'm in a mag team training. It's amazing. And Patty says, love that smile, Chris. Brandon says, shared this touching video. Awesome, Brandon. Thanks for sharing. Everyone share. If you're on here right now, and if you haven't shared, please share this. We surely do appreciate it. Tara says, Chris, I know that. Okay, so hold on. Somebody that knows you. Chris, I know that you know me. Love your smile. Not sure you like me, but either way, I'd really like to hear from you. All right, Tara. He heard that. Gabrielle said, so was there a fire when you was a kid, or did you get hurt in a war? Because Michael said something about the military. Military. I don't remember talking about military, did I?
I don't
No.
remember.
When we're finished this, Tabria, just go back and watch the replay. He was burnt when he was really young. He was like 17, 18 months old, right before he was 2 years old. So you'd be able to actually watch that from the replay. So we don't have to, since we already went through it all, we don't want to actually go right back into it again. That makes sense. Not trying to be rude or anything. Just trying to save time there. I don't even know how long we've been on here. Probably a long time. So before we jump off of here, I actually want to say, Chris, thank you for allowing me to do this interview. I will be in almost daily contact with you as a friend
Okay.
for the rest of my time on this lovely planet Earth. And
Awesome.
one of these days we will meet in person, and we will
Yeah.
do a go live with that tripod that you will be receiving, and we can sit there and just
Yeah.
chat with each other and let the whole world hear. You know what I
That'd be
mean?
awesome.
Maybe
Yeah.
even read from the book The Magic that you get as well. And we'll just let other
All
people
right.
share that as well, because you're going to love that. So everything you learn in that, you're going to actually, you can do go lives and talk about it. Like I used to read chapters from it. So I would read a chapter every
Okay.
single day and just go through the whole of all days of my, of the magic, and just go through it every day of the week and let people hear it. And then they could also do it as well. So it's pretty cool.
Mm.
So I want to say thank you. I'm not going to hold you up here. Once you get off here, I'm going to close it in a little bit. But I just want to say thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it feels good to be able to know that you're going to help millions
Yeah.
of people, because one day you will have a book. One day you will be on a show. One day you will have a movie. One day in the near future, you'll have a huge YouTube following that'll be unreal. One day you will have an unbelievable amount of income coming your way, and it won't matter who donates or what, because then you can donate it to another charity, because you are going to
Mm-hmm.
change lives and your life will be changed forever.
Right.
100%, because
Right.
people are going to follow you and do exactly what you say, because you have a huge following already. You're going to touch lives
Mm-hmm.
like you don't even know. And take it, you might want to take it slow, but success loves speed.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard that before?
Oh,
Success
yeah.
loves
Yeah.
speed. So keep it going, keep
Mm-hmm.
the smile going. And do you want to say anything else before you hop off here?
Nothing I can think of right now. Just if anybody ever wants to talk to me, I'm here and I will talk back as soon as I can. I'm busy a lot of times, but I do get back to people as soon as I can. And I love talking to anybody and helping them in any way possible.
Awesome.
So,
I'll message you as soon as I get off of here. Um, and
okay.
I really do appreciate it, Chris. So thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you for allowing me to interview and you sharing your story with the world and all of our friends that shared this and their friends. So we surely do appreciate that. And hopefully on the GoFundMe, if you go through the comments, go up to the GoFundMe link and click on there. Chris is raising money for a car, because his car is kind of falling apart. And we want to help him
Mm.
be able to get around to get point A to point B, because he has a 13-year-old and 11-year-old daughter, and it would super be grateful for them, or they would be very thankful to be able to get around easier and knowing that they're safe in a safe vehicle from point A to point B. So give us a bunch of loves,
Right.
give Chris a bunch of hearts, give Chris a bunch of kisses before he jumps off here. And thank you, Chris. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so
Awesome,
much.
brother. Thanks again for coming on, and we'll see you next time, okay?
All
All right,
right,
buddy.
man.
So I want to say to everybody, I hope you got some value tonight. I hope you got a bunch of gratitude, love, of what I always tell people is share your story, because we can touch and we can help so many people in this world. Chris's story is amazing. And everyone out there has a story. And what you need to do is go out there and find someone that wants to share their story and give them an ear to listen to. Because maybe they're depressed. Maybe they're suffering with anxiety. Maybe they're just not happy at their day job that they have. And they just need somebody to listen to them, because they don't have it at home. They don't have it at work. They don't get it from a loved one. They don't get it from a family member. Be that ear for that person, because you will touch people's lives. And Chris says, thanks again, everyone. This was such an awesome interview and a great experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Chris, you are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. So Brandon says, changed my outlook on life. And Karen said, God bless. Thanks, man. So without further ado, I want to say thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the loves and the likes and the love and the inspiration that we all give one another. If you want to talk to myself, or if you want to talk to Chris and you want to hear his story, reach out to him one-on-one if you want to talk to him. But I am here as a friend. I am here as a mentor. I am here for somebody that is looking for a change in their life. Because I also have an online business that I also reach out and help people with. So if it's something that interests you as well, reach out to me anytime. Or maybe you want to do an interview with me sometime. I would love to interview you and share your story. Without further ado, guys, this is tonight's interview of the night with Chris Tomlinson, and I appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. God bless you all. From Michael Jennings, myself, here in Mount Wolf, Pennsylvania. I love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.